Welcome back, beautiful. I'm Louisa Hart, and today we are diving into something that is going to genuinely change the way your face looks and feels, and I mean that. We're talking about those downturned corners of the mouth. You know exactly what I mean, right? That expression that makes you look tired or a little sad or even tense, even on days when you feel absolutely amazing inside. It's one of the most common things women come to me about, and honestly, it's one of my favorite things to work on because the results are so visible, so real, and so satisfying. So let's talk about what's actually happening beneath the surface, because when you understand the why, the exercises make so much more sense, and you'll do them so much better. The main culprit here is a muscle called the depressor anguli oris. Say that 3 times fast, I dare you. This muscle literally translates to the depressor of the angle of the mouth. Its entire job is to pull the corners of your mouth downward. And when it gets overactive, when it holds on to tension day after day, it starts winning the tug of war against the muscles that lift your face. Add to that the platysma, that broad, flat muscle running down the front of your neck, plus several other lower face muscles, and you've got a whole team pulling your expression south. But here is the exciting part. Muscles that are trained into a pattern of tension can absolutely be retrained. Tissue that has been dragged downward can be encouraged to lift again. Circulation that has become sluggish can be revived. And when all of that happens together, watch out, because your face is going to look more lifted, fresher, more relaxed, and genuinely more like you on your best day, every single day. What I'm about to walk you through is a carefully designed routine that combines targeted massage techniques with specific face yoga exercises. This isn't random. Every single step has a purpose. Every movement is chosen to release overactive muscles, reactivate underused ones, improve circulation and lymph drainage, and restore the kind of balanced muscular tone that keeps your face looking naturally lifted. Are you ready? Let's go. We're starting with our very first exercise, and it's a beautiful warm-up for everything that follows. I want you to gently, and I mean gently, tuck your lips behind your teeth. Not a big dramatic tuck, just soft and easy. In this position, it's almost as if you're shaping your mouth to pronounce the letter A. Feel that? Good. Now relax. Bring your lips forward into a soft, gentle tube shape, like you're about to say the letter O. And now let's loop it. O flows into A flows back into O. Smooth, continuous, rhythmic, like a wave. Now, while you're doing this, I want to do a quick check-in on a few things. First, are your chewing muscles comfortable? Is there any tension or discomfort in your jaw joint? If yes, make the range of motion smaller. We are not here to strain anything. Comfort is non-negotiable. Second, are you sitting upright? Pull those shoulders back and down. Crown of your head reaching gently toward the ceiling. Third, check your eyes, not squinting, not frowning. Face completely neutral everywhere except your mouth, which is doing its beautiful O to A flow. This exercise is so much more powerful than it looks. What it's doing is improving coordination and balance between all the muscles surrounding your mouth. When these muscles learn to work in harmony instead of fighting each other, the whole lower face starts to reorganize itself into a more lifted, more symmetrical, more relaxed expression. Keep going with that flow. You've got this. Now I want you to tilt your head gently to one side. And here's something really important. I don't want you to drop your ear toward your shoulder. Instead, imagine the opposite ear as being drawn upward toward the ceiling. Feel the difference? That subtle shift completely changes the quality of the stretch. You're now lengthening the side of the neck in a way that actually improves joint mobility and gently opens up the tissues along the lateral neck. Switch sides after a moment and do the same thing. We are going to stay in that tilt now, and while you hold it, I want you to use soft kneading movements to massage the side of the neck. Your fingers, your whole hand, working gently into the neck tissue. Now, a couple of rules here, and these are important. Do not touch the spine. Do not work on the central front of the neck where your thyroid gland and trachea are located. Those areas are off limits. Everything else? Fair game. You can work closer to the back, closer to the front, near the base of the skull, down toward the shoulder. Wherever you feel tension, wherever it feels good to work, go there. And let me tell you why this matters so much. Because I think when you understand this, you're going to take this part of the routine seriously. Tension in the sides of the neck has a direct impact on facial symmetry. It affects how blood and lymph fluid flow up into the face. It creates a kind of downward drag on the lower face muscles that people almost never connect to their mouth corners. When you release the neck, you are literally taking weight off the lower face. You're improving the environment your facial muscles live in. The effects travel upward in ways that will genuinely surprise you. Wonderful. Now bring your hands behind your head. Use the backs of your hands and begin rubbing the area just below the base of your skull. Then the back of the head itself. You can move slightly down the neck, but again, do not touch the spine. Let your shoulders melt downward. Sit tall, crown reaching up. If your hands get tired, shake them out. Lower them for a moment, then come back. We're going to keep this going because what we're targeting here are the suboccipital muscles, a small but incredibly powerful group of muscles right at the base of the skull. These are muscles that almost everyone carries tension in, especially in today's world of screens and phones and hours of looking downward. When the suboccipitals are tight, they alter your head position. They reduce circulation to the face. They create a chain of compensatory tension that travels down through the jaw, into the lower face, and yes, right into those mouth corners. The movements here should be soft and warming. We are not digging in. We are not pressing hard. We are warming, loosening, inviting release. That's the goal. Now let's move to one of my absolute favorite parts of this whole routine, because this one you can feel working almost immediately. Curl your fingers into gentle hooks. Open your mouth softly, not wide, just a natural, easy drop. And place your hooked fingers under the cheekbone along its length. Under your fingers, you should feel something that feels firm, dense. That is the masseter, your chewing muscle, and it is one of the most powerful muscles in the entire human body. If you feel teeth or gums under your fingers, you need to reposition. If your fingers feel like they're sinking into soft tissue without resistance, reposition. You want that firm, dense surface. Once you're there, press gently. We're talking 20 to 30% of your maximum pressure, no more. And now imagine that muscle as soft clay. Let your fingers sink just slightly into it. And then, slowly, gently, begin to move your fingers downward, kneading as you go. Down, 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 along the length of that muscle. When you reach the bottom, right under the angle of the jaw, you can pause and make a small, gentle sawing motion, just under and behind the jaw angle. If your hands tire out, and they will because this takes real engagement, shake them out and come back. This is worth it. Here's why. The masseter, when it's chronically tight, does not just cause jaw tension or headaches. It physically pulls the tissue of the lower face downward. It deepens the nasolabial folds. It drags the mouth corners south. Releasing it, genuinely, deeply releasing it, restores length and balance to the muscle and takes that downward force off your face. You will feel a difference in your expression within minutes of doing this well. Keep going. You're doing great. Okay, place your hands on your temples now, gently, and lift the skin upward toward the crown of your head. Hold that gentle lift and keep it there. In this position, I want you to slowly open your mouth, about 80% of your maximum, not fully, and then slowly close it again. Open and close. As you open your mouth, let your gaze drift just slightly downward. Keep those shoulders relaxed and dropped. Keep the crown of your head floating upward. Now this one comes with a very important check. Are there any clicking sounds? Any crunching sensations in the jaw joint? If yes, make the movement smaller. Much smaller if needed. Even the tiniest open and close counts. What we're working on here is coordination and control of the temporomandibular joint, the jaw joint, and the muscles that surround it. When the jaw moves in a balanced, controlled way, it reduces the compensatory tension that builds up throughout the lower face. Over time, this movement will become smoother, more fluid, more natural. And as it does, you'll notice less tightness, less pulling, more balance, all of which supports a more lifted, more relaxed expression around the mouth. Now I want you to use your fingers to find the corner of your mouth, right there where your lips meet. You'll likely feel a fold there. It might be subtle, or it might be quite pronounced. Either way, we're going to work on it. Gently take that fold between your fingers and begin to rub and soften it. You're working the tissue, warming it, encouraging it to release. You can also try lifting the corner of your mouth very slightly into the beginning of a smile, just the tiniest hint, and continue massaging in that lifted position. The corners of the mouth are a convergence point for so many muscles. The depressor anguli oris pulls down. The zygomaticus pulls up and out. The orbicularis oris wraps around the mouth. All of these muscles meet right at that corner, and when they're holding habitual tension, which they absolutely are in most of us, the corner gets stuck in a downward position. What you're doing right now is working directly into that habitual pattern, softening it, interrupting it, and giving your face permission to reorganize into something more open and lifted. All right, here we go. Tuck those lips behind your teeth again, gently, the same way we started. And now from that position, I want you to smile. Yes, really smile. This is one of my favorite exercises in the whole routine, and I think you're about to feel exactly why. Before you go for it, quick check. Jaw comfortable? No tension? No strain? Good. Now, same motion as your regular, genuine smile. The only difference is that your lips are tucked behind your teeth, which means the corners of your mouth can't just pull wide and outward the way they normally would. Instead, all that energy goes up, into the cheeks, into the zygomatic region, right up near the cheekbones. You should feel a strong, satisfying engagement right there. That sense of fatigue you sometimes get in your cheeks after a lot of genuine laughing, that's exactly the area we want to feel working. If your muscles don't move as dramatically as you'd like right now, please don't be discouraged. I have been doing this for years. The muscle memory, the neuromuscular connection, it develops over time. What matters right now is that you feel something happening in that cheek area. Hold that position. Hold it. 10 seconds. Feel those zygomatic muscles, the ones responsible for lifting the corners of your mouth, doing their work. And when you're ready to release, place your fingers right under the cheekbone and make tiny, light, vibrating movements to release any excess tension. Beautiful. Now place your fist gently under the upper jawbone. Let your face rest on them, softly, without pressing down. You can stay still here if that feels right, or you can make slow, rolling movements with your fists, moving from the center outward toward the jaw joint. Take your time, move slowly. And as you explore this area, notice if there are any tender or sensitive spots. If you find one, pause there. Just let your fist rest at that point for a moment. Let the pressure be constant and gentle. Let the tissue respond to you rather than forcing it. For me personally, I tend to find my most sensitive spots a bit closer toward the cheekbone than toward the center. Everyone is different. Your map of tension is your own. Work the whole area, center, midway, closer to the jaw joint. A few rolling movements in each zone. This is doing something really significant. It's releasing the muscles and fascia of the upper jaw and midface at a deep level. And when you reduce tension in this area, you remove a major source of downward pull on all the surrounding tissue. The nasolabial folds soften. The corners of the mouth ease. The whole midface starts to feel and look less weighted, less dragged. We are almost at the finish line, and I want you to end this session with one more beautiful, gentle technique. Place your index fingers on your chin. Let them hook very lightly onto the edge of the lower lip, like tiny feather-light anchors. And now, without pressing, without pulling, without forcing anything at all, let them simply begin to slide downward, under their own weight, their own gravity, slowly, slowly, slowly. This is a technique where less is truly more. If you press too firmly, you risk bruising the delicate tissue in this area. So we let gravity do the work. We don't help it, we just allow it. The lower lip and chin are intimately connected to the muscles responsible for pulling the mouth corners down. And gentle, patient stretching here encourages those muscles to release their grip, to let go of their habitual downward pull, to allow the corners of your mouth to settle into a more neutral, more lifted, more naturally beautiful position. And that's it. That is your complete routine. Take a moment right now, seriously, just pause and notice. How does your face feel? Is there a sense of lightness? Maybe some warmth from the increased circulation? Does your lower face feel softer, more relaxed, less pulled? That feeling is real. That is your tissues responding to everything you just did for them. Here's what I want you to remember. This kind of work creates real, visible change, but it does so through consistency, not intensity. You don't need to press harder or work longer. You need to show up regularly, do the routine with intention and care, and trust the process. The results will come. They always do. I'm Louisa Hart, and it has been such a pleasure guiding you through this today. If this session gave you value, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Leave a comment, share it with a friend who needs it, and if you want to go deeper into face yoga practice, download my free guide, 7 Steps to Your Natural Beauty, using the link below. Inside, I share everything: how often to practice, how to do these exercises correctly and safely, and the most important insights from 8 years of personal practice and 6 years of teaching others. It's all there waiting for you. Take care of your beautiful face, gently, lovingly, consistently, and I will see you in the next session.